What's good, everybody? It's your boy Miss. We are here checking out why Tumblr died so quickly by Moon. Now, I've never used Tumblr. I probably not even signed in. Like I looked at the website probably one time. I looked at it and I was like, it's not for me. But my friend Shy used to use Tumblr, and like we were talking about art, and Shy was like, "Oh yeah," and then Tumblr got rid of all the NSFW, and then the website died. And I was like, what? They removed all the porn, so it just died. It's like, yeah, but here's this video why Tumblr died. So actually want to know why Tumblr died, and I just thought it'd be a cool video to react to. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Completely dead, with the site's value going from $1 billion down to a measly $3 million. And by looking at Tumblr's search volume, it's not hard to see
that's
why.
not good at
From
all.
2012 to 2015, Tumblr was one of the most searched for websites in the world. It was unstoppable. But now today, Tumblr is dead in the water. So what happened to Tumblr? Why didn't it grow like Reddit, Twitter, or Instagram? Well, there's several reasons for it.
It's because Twitter got porn and so does Reddit. That's why in Instagram they got all the booty pictures.
First reason being the site's user base. And at the start, this was actually a good thing for the site. They capitalized on this, as this was the core premise of Tumblr, a place for every niche under the sun to come together and celebrate their passions. Founded back in 2007, Tumblr was a smash hit straight out of the gate. During the website's first 2 weeks after its launch, 75,000 users had already become active on the platform. It wouldn't take long for Tumblr to establish itself as one of the giants of social media, because back then there were barely any other sites competing. They were quick to dominate the internet back in the late 2000s. But aside from little competition, another large part of Tumblr's success can be attributed to the platform's straightforward layout and design. Additionally,
the UI, the user interface, man, that's important to design, video games, all that. So it was the first one there, and it was one of the easiest things to use on the internet. That's good. So how did they mess it up?
The website's focus on blogging made it excellent for bringing users together through a variety of different hobbies. Tumblr had its own specific communities and content sections that were similar to Reddit, but users could also reblog each other's posts.
Reblog. I remember that. I remember that meme. Reblog.
Which might be why some people are nostalgic towards how Tumblr was back in these golden days. I mean, a recent article from The Atlantic summarized the website in its prime as, quote, not just a blogging platform, but a staging ground for an array of political movements, the birthplace of all manner of digital aesthetics, and the site of freaky in-groups.
The porn, the freaky, the porn.
Available content, and at the
look, there it is. Look. You see, you got the pony, you got the boobies. Yeah, she kind of thick. Yep.
The website's peak, there were over 100 million posts per day. Back then, Tumblr was home to
wow,
a talented artists and content creators. However, in a few short years, nearly all of these creators would be gone, and the sites would be completely dead. So why was this the case? And how could a website with so much influence and such a huge user base implode so quickly? You see,
porn is gone.
Tumblr was filled with countless subcultures, all with varying levels of depravity and vocality. You see, Tumblr was different to Reddit. This was a place for the artsy hipster crowd. In fact, this was really for anything you could name. Tumblr was home to hipsters, bronies, furries, feminists, and so many more on the website. And whilst this was great for Tumblr's initial growth, this would also be one of the main reasons for Tumblr's downfall. And this became apparent in 2014. Around this time, there had never really been many online gatherings, especially not on Tumblr. So what would it look like if these social rejects attempted hosting their own real-life event? Well, that question got an answer during the infamous 2014 convention organized by Tumblr's
Is it Rainforest? Rainfirst?
very own users. And it was this event that would mark the decline of Tumblr's entire website. Now, to give some context, the community on Tumblr had just announced this thing called DashCon.
Oh, DashCon. I think I saw a video about that on Internet Historian too. Yeah, he did a video on DashCon, Rainfirst, and I think Rainfirst 2.
DashCon was a convention advertised as being run by Tumblr fans for Tumblr fans, touting that the event would be the largest gathering of Tumblr users to date. And at the time, this seemed like a perfect opportunity for people to socialize with their friends and communities, which was then egged on by DashCon's organizers, who promised the world to their attendees. Fandom panels, literature readings, podcasters, a live band, and
sounds
a
good.
Ball pit.
Oh my God. So I did see this on Internet Historian, bro. The ball pit was like a freaking like little inflatable pool full of that, like that's it, and then somebody pooped in it. Oh my God.
To be expected during the convention weekend. However,
oh my God.
Rolled around,
there it is. There's the ball pit. I was gonna read.
To be expected during the convention weekend.
Steam powered giraffe and welcome to Night Vale. Is that the band? Show up for entertainment and panels. Ball pit. Hell
However,
yeah,
once the
the
event
ball
rolled
pit,
around,
baby.
DashCon's organizers and the
Boy, what the
attendees would be
hell?
thoroughly slapped with a dose of reality. This was going to be historic. Tumblr
Mm.
was organizing this huge event, and it was supposed to be a great PR move for Tumblr. In fact, around 5,000 people were expected to show. But when the event actually came to fruition, only a little under 300 ended up actually making a nearly empty hotel.
I mean that, dude. That's totally fine, right? You expected 5,000, only 300 showed up. That's totally fine, bro. I mean, the actual company Tumblr was in charge of this. All hands should have been on deck for this to be a success, bro. They should have, even if they only expected 5,000 people to show up, whatever, and only 300. Even if 300 people showed up, bro, make it memorable. Have all hands on deck. Communication supposed to be good. Food, entertainment, like, bro, this is your first ever event. It has to be a smash, bro. Even if only a little bit of people showed up.
Furthermore, an
Oh my
anticipated
goodness.
podcast group, as well as the live band, actually cancelled their bookings well before DashCon started, which was a snub
Like, if it was a couple days, I definitely would have told
to
people.
attendees who bought VIP tickets in hopes of seeing them. So what was their compensation for this misfortune? A free extra hour in the so-called massive ball pit,
Wait, you had to pay to get into the ball pit?
which turned out to be just an inflatable swimming pool filled with plastic balls in the middle of an empty lounge.
See, this is exactly like, bro, Tumblr. I don't care how much of a money sink it would be. I need this whole room to be a freaking ball pit. The entire room needs to be a ball pit. I need to have so many balls here. It needs to be filled up to like right here. I don't give a damn if it cost me a million. We'll take it on the chin, tax write off. We need this place to be epic. It is our first event. If your first event is a flop, who's going to come to the next one? If the first one was crazy and awesome, even if only 300 people showed up, next year more people will show up because the first one was so good. Everybody missed out. You know, Rolling Loud and Coachella. You think the first event was perfect? No, but it was so good that people continue to do it.
Even worse for the event organizers, the contrast in expected to actual arrivals was starting to cause big problems. You see, they were planning on making over $17,000 in door sales.
Okay.
And most of that money was supposed to be paid for hotel managers so that DashCon would be kept afloat.
So they didn't pay them.
This $17,000 was money they didn't actually have. Because of the organizers' inaccurate foresight, every DashCon attendee was called into a single room and asked to donate so that the event could continue.
Wait. So you're telling me this company estimated at like $1 billion at this point? You didn't have how much? Y'all didn't have $17,000 to pay the hotel staff? You guys were like, oh, we'll make the money out the door. And what if you didn't make the money out the door? You didn't come with money to pay the staff? Man, this is they just didn't they weren't prepared, man. That's an absolute fail.
And shockingly, they actually managed to muster up enough funding, although the majority of it was done through online transactions.
Okay.
However, there was a catch. Using the maths done in Internet Historian's video on DashCon, it
Yeah,
turns out that these
good
event
ass
hosts
video.
actually scam their attendees. The organizers requested far more money than they actually needed, and then pocketed around $9,000 in door sale revenue and donations for themselves.
So these are this is Tumblr staff that showed up and they scammed the people that came to the door. Oh my god, bro. So they were corrupt. They were not prepared, and oh my gosh.
And to put the final cherry on top of this clown fiesta was that the official artwork for DashCon ended up being stolen copyright material. This DashCon
Ironic.
situation would end up irreversibly damaging Tumblr's reputation. This
100%.
was the first major crack in Tumblr's public image. This was one of the first signs that Tumblr was going to collapse. Even though the event wasn't officially licensed, the whole ordeal showcased how out of touch with reality a lot of Tumblr's user base really were. The event was then further put in the limelight after Internet Historians
5 years ago,
which received
man.
over 17 million views. Yet
It's a
even
good
still,
video,
DashCon
man.
wouldn't
Check
be
it
the
out.
last time that Tumblr's more questionable and radical users started gaining notoriety across the internet. It was a year later in 2015 when Tumblr's empire would begin to collapse. You see, in late 2015, another big controversy was coming around the corner to taint Tumblr's legacy, and this controversy was around the incredibly vocal Steven Universe fandom. It all started when an artist going by the username Sammy070.
Oh, I think I heard about this. So this girl, she drew like a Steven Universe character, and like she just made him a little bit different, and like everybody was like, "Oh, it's terrible," blah blah blah. and they were like, "Oh, you should die," and oh my god,
uploaded a series of innocuous artworks
yeah,
depicting certain characters from the cartoon,
it looks
packing simply just a
fine,
few less pounds than they actually did in the real show. Now, the
bro.
Steven universe didn't like this. Despite the fact that this fandom is clearly focused on areas like inclusivity and tolerance, this artwork was definitely not taken lightly. And what followed after Zami posted her artwork was a relentless campaign of vitriol and threats from her fellow Tumblr users. And this is to put it lightly, because Zami actually received
What the fuck? What did I say?
and threats from her fellow.
It's painful how you just copy, paste, and flip the left side of her hair, to be honest, and didn't even try to make it that distinct. It's really the exact same pixels for the majority. Okay, who the fuck are you? Rose Quartz? Or is it who? I don't know. Who are you, man? Are you the damn art police? Like, who the fuck cares, bro? It looks good.
Tumblr users.
Oh
And
my
this is to put
god,
it
bro.
lightly, because Zami actually received so many hate messages that she stated she was going to sleep forever, and apparently got close enough that she ended up in the hospital. And even after this information went public,
Bro.
some members of the Steven Universe fandom still continued their assault.
That's
tons
not
and
cool,
tons
bro.
of users kept up their stream of death threats.
Bro, I hope you effing die. Like, seriously, this attention whoring is getting really effing old. Look, everyone, a privileged little white girl pretending she's gonna kill herself. Let's all rush to defend her like she's not an oppressor. Bro, who is she oppressing? What are you talking about? All she did was make some art. Do you not know what white privilege is? What? You're the reason blacks are being gunned down in the streets, bro. Oh my god. You're the reason we didn't see a black president until 2008. As fucking soon as POC, I don't know what that is, and LGBTQ communities are represented positively, you have to come and turn each and every one of those characters into effing racial caricatures straight out of the 1920s. Honestly, you deserve to die. Your art is effing shit too. Bro, there's literally people on the internet like this. I don't get it. She drew a character skinnier than the original artist. Who cares? It's a TV show, a cartoon. Oh my god, this person needs to get help. You're the reason blacks are being gunned down in the streets. I just can't
with
even.
Zami, while accusing her of lying about her suicide attempt.
Bro,
and
I
mental
can't
well-being.
even, bro.
The Tumblr hive mind had decided that Zami's depictions of the cartoon
I
characters
hope you
went
effing
against the
die,
Steven Universe's
bro.
message of inclusivity. Yet ironically, their response was to violently exclude and harass an artist for drawing something they didn't like. But this controversy served to highlight that Tumblr's entire community was now rotting to the core. As in the months after this, Tumblr's groupthink effect was working in overdrive, and controversies like these began to reveal a much darker side to Tumblr. Because on the one hand, Tumblr was supposedly welcoming. However niche your interests were, there was probably a community on Tumblr for it. But for all the relatively sensible communities, there were just as many echo chambers. Nonsensical, ludicrous points of view started becoming the norm on Tumblr, and anything outside of the narrow scope was declared wrongthink. And this mentality wouldn't only be limited to fandoms active on Tumblr either, as a singular ideological narrative would soon end up engulfing the entire platform. Which is about when Tumblr's downfall was starting to become very noticeable. For the first time in the website's history, their user base began to decline. Alienated by the growing fanaticism and hysteria on the site, many users were starting to pack up and leave in droves. From 2014 to 2016,
they're crazy.
The posts per day would dramatically fall by over 50%. But it wasn't only the website's crazed fandoms behind the sharp decline. A few other factors were at play as well, because many insane Tumblr posts began inexplicably going viral, like one user's hot take regarding the bigotry behind dental hygiene.
The fact that pretty teeth are only known as white and straight is a manifestation of our hatred for minorities. Bro, what the hell are they talking about? When people find a way to turn dental hygiene into a social justice issue, that's when you know your website's gone overboard. Bro, it's not the website, it's the person, bro. What is they talk known as white and straight? Like, are they talking about straight white people? Bro.
And while
Its
posts like these
teeth.
certainly weren't the norm by any means, the general sentiment gave rise to a new archetype infamously coined the social justice warrior. Someone who is unconcerned with real issues in society and instead getting angry or harmless content on the internet. A person who
They
spots
need help.
misogyny, racism, prejudice where it doesn't actually exist. This term was what many perceived Tumblr users
Bro.
as, which was a general
Ass
sentiment
dicks.
that would only
Yeah.
speed up the website's eventual downfall.
That dude, that just makes your cause worse. If you call something racist that isn't racist, that makes your cause worse. It does not help whatsoever. Because then when some real racist stuff happens, nobody's going to believe you.
But before I continue, I want to shout out today's sponsor, Establish. Titles top plot. You can build massive sales.com. Another reason for Tumblr's demise later came from a similar place. Because of the site's focus on niche interests, Tumblr quickly became populated with a relatively young audience, comprised of people.
Wait. 15 to 25. Wait, percentage using that internet users use Tumblr? How the hell are there 15-year-olds on your website? I personally think you're not allowed. You should not be like, okay, you can use like YouTube Kids and shit, but you definitely should not be like literally exploring like the internet unless you're the age of 18, bro. No good can come from using the internet at such a young age. Like none whatsoever. None whatsoever. No. And 15 to 25, what kind of age gap is that, bro? I'm not even 25 yet. Fucking 15 to 25, 10%. Bro, like that doesn't help. You should have like 15 to 17 and then like 18 to 23. Like that's how you do it. You don't do 15 to 25. You know how big of an age gap? That's 10 years, bro. What the hell?
With a relatively young
What?
audience, comprised of people who really just didn't fit into the mainstream platforms. And while it was nice that Tumblr gave these misfits a place to exist, this
Misfits.
also caused some less than ideal side effects for the website. One of these problems was that Tumblr's community was facilitating user partisanship on one side of the political spectrum, and these people certainly didn't like being questioned. Additionally, because of the echo chamber effects of social media, this community would continue growing and became increasingly notorious around the internet, being proliferated with posts such as the misogyny of bacon versus pumpkin.
The social acceptability of bacon culture versus the hatred of pumpkin spice culture. Bro, what? This is an example of misogyny because male interests are always cool and female interests are always shameful. Moreover, it's really ridiculous that gendering has made its way to food flavors. Bro, what are they talking about? Look, I like bacon, right? I've never had a pumpkin spice latte or whatever. That does not mean I hate pumpkin spice things. I just never had it. Okay? I can order a bacon burger from McDonald's right now on freaking Uber Eats. I cannot do that with a pumpkin spice latte. But the whole male interests are always cool and female interests are always shameful. Bro, the makeup genre on YouTube is huge as hell, and that is a female based interest. What are you talking about? It's shameful.
Source,
Oh my
reflecting
God.
how extreme Tumblr's users were going. And soon enough, the website's one-sided political ideology was the first thing that came to people's minds when they heard the word Tumblr, becoming pretty much synonymous with the website as a whole. This and all the other culminating public disasters for Tumblr ended up irreversibly damaging the website's ability to attract new users.
I bet.
Users who were closer to the middle or right side
That's me, the
of
middle.
spectrum, Tumblr was starting to get filled with non-stop discussion
my
of
God.
identity politics. For a user base apparently having the goal of promoting inclusivity, they didn't do a whole lot of practicing what they preached. If you had the audacity to be a stray white male who posted on Tumblr, obviously any statements you made would be completely
Men should not be interacting or speaking to me at all. Go away.
disregarded because
Bro, don't nobody want to speak to you because you're hateful. Boil all men. With a picture of Drake as your profile pic? Oh my God.
And then on top of this was
Can't
the
be real.
focus and
Cannot be real.
hypersensitivity on supposed self-identity, something that Tumblr would take to a whole new level. The ridiculous lengths that Tumblr users took regarding self-identity
9 age regression themed neo-pronouns. Now look, okay, I am all for pronouns. My friend Shy, I'm gonna send this to you, Shy. If you get this far, let me know. But Shy goes by they, them. I love Shy. Shy is a great person. I try not to call Shy she because they like to be going by they. And same thing, you'll never see me personally put he, him in my Instagram, and you'll never see none of that because I personally don't care. People know I'm a guy, I go by a guy. Some people don't have that honor of people knowing what they go by, so that's why they put it on there. If you prefer to be called they, them, whatever, I personally don't care. I will call you they, them. It's hard sometimes. I'll forget, but I'll catch myself be like, oh, my fault, they, them. It's no issue. No issue whatsoever. The people that do have an issue with it, get over yourself. It's not that big a deal. If your buddy that you grew up, you were always calling him he, and now he wants to be called she, just call her she. It doesn't matter, bro. That's still your homie.
Gentrification would become such a phenomenon that entire communities on various platforms would become dedicated to making fun of them. A subreddit called Tumblr in Action would gain over 120,000
Tumblr in Action
lifetime on Reddit. Despite the name, many of the posts on the subreddit weren't actually from Tumblr. Instead, they were from sites like Twitter or other sites with similar ideologies. But this only served
help. Help, he's attacking me. Ah, what's wrong? She misgendered me. I'm Z-Zim. And then they're mad as fuck. And this is me, the black guy just watching. I ain't got nothing to do with this shit.
have to prove how synonymous Tumblr had become with the idea of
oh my gosh,
SJWs, repeating this bland, monotonous narrative. And then the
hey, that's a dope-ass tattoo. Is that a hummingbird with flowers? That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Tumblr in Action subreddit took on a life of its own, with even PewDiePie making a video on it.
Triggered by Tumblr.
Trying to write a joke
that won't offend anyone on Tumblr.
This is the worst point I have ever seen.
Proving the point.
If you're making jokes around racist and misogynistic, then you are funny, actually.
Improving their point.
Focus on Tumblr was based around gender,
oh my god,
any other label they could use. One group of Tumblr users took this notion of labels even further on a community known as Other Kin. These individuals self-identified as ridiculous concepts like animal-human hybrids.
On all levels except physical, I am a wolf.
And they happened to settle with Tumblr as their hybrids.
On all levels except physical, I am a wolf.
I get it. It's cringe. It is weird. I personally just don't associate myself with these type of people. I'm sure they're cool. I'm sure if we get to talking, we have something in common like video games or something. But it's not for me. Like the first time I ever saw something like this was the Dear Twitch ambassador. Everybody was like memeing and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean you go after them and start hating on them. Never. Like, okay, this person, they're in their own lane, they're doing their own thing. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't care.
And they happen to settle with Tumblr as their main hang.
If you don't like calling them dogs or wolves or whatever, just don't talk to them. That's it.
While these
simple.
Other Kin were mostly harmless, it quickly became just another
harmless, exactly.
Linked to Tumblr once a video on the subject went viral. It was
on all levels except physical. I'm a wolf. It is what it is. If you want to be a wolf person, be a wolf person. I don't care.
All of these controversies and just insane posts on Tumblr that were starting to wreck the website's reputation, because by now, Tumblr's reputation was essentially in the gutter, which caused many regular users
ex-homosexual. You can do that? I'm just kidding. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
To outright leave. And
wait. Hold on.
Tumblr's reputation was essentially in the
gutter,
which
ugly with a fat ass. My favorite. Oh my god, bruh. Ugly with a fat ass. Damn.
Because as Tumblr became associated with one-sided politics and crazy fandoms, this would become people's first impression of the site. This was no longer a site about art and expression, and the sheer amount of anti-Tumblr content on the internet probably didn't help them much either.
No, not at all.
People who liked the site for its creativity and expression were now leaving the site. Those who stayed were mostly the hardcore Tumblr users who were the ones negatively impacting the site in the first place.
The crazy people.
These politically extremist communities and crazed fandoms stayed as the more normal people began leaving. And this isn't to say that the website's vocal minority became the majority.
I'm to go.
Their effect on the platform was more and more noticeable as the site's population continued dropping.
Because it's just them.
With the standard issues that came with echo chambers, meant that Tumblr's user base would only become more and more radical, yet another factor working against the site. It was clear that Tumblr was rotting to the core, which brings us perfectly to late 2016, when Yahoo announced that Tumblr had lost around half of its previous $1 billion value. Even worse, Tumblr's last remaining founder, who was still involved with the company,
Jump ship,
just
bro.
quit.
Jump
further
ship.
up the corporate ladder, the owners of Tumblr, Yahoo, weren't doing all too well either. Eventually, eventually being bought out by Verizon the next year. This
Ooh,
acquisition
not
occurred,
Verizon.
The departure of Tumblr's founder left
Oh,
the website
man.
without a vision. Additionally, the financial problems at Tumblr were further exacerbated by even more users leaving the site, with their user base graph looking like this. And then at the beginning of 2016, new posts on Tumblr had already fallen to only 60 million per day, around half of what they were just 3 years earlier. During the span of the next year, Tumblr's daily posts would again halve to just 30 million a day. The platform wasn't just declining, it was in freefall. The many compounding issues with Tumblr's community had done a number on the website. As the website was now owned by Verizon, they had to do something fast to stem the bleeding. If they couldn't sort this problem out soon enough, Tumblr would be dead in the water. And so Tumblr turned to a last resort. To gain money to reinvest back into Tumblr, the company resorted to a final decision.
Ban all the radicals. All the crazy people talking about, oh, you're the reason why black people get killed. Ban them. They're not good for the site. They're making normal people go away. Ban them.
They would tackle the issues that advertisers had with advertising on Tumblr. You see, even from the start, Tumblr's always had trouble making
This is when they banned the porn, isn't it?
social media sites. Compared to other platforms like Google, where users enter specifically what they want to see in the search bar, or Facebook.
Lose weight without diets. You can lose weight working out, but you still should probably diet to make your workouts easier. And the only way I know you lose weight without a diet is if you get surgery.
Facebook, where profiles hold valuable data about the individual, Tumblr had it rough. Similar to Reddit and 4chan, Tumblr users are considered very low value in the eyes of advertisers.
Because they're anonymous.
Due to the limited personal information and actionable data held inside their
They don't use their real names
this
or
caused Tumblr
nothing.
to have problems generating any revenue, since the platform's niche and spread out communities were hard for agencies to really pinpoint advertisers.
Target-based
towards.
adding.
And by 2018, Tumblr wasn't only losing its popularity, but it was steadily losing all of its money. And so, in an attempt to fix this, the company tried shifting their website to become more advertiser-friendly. And as a result of this mindset, Tumblr made the
ban all
decision
adult
in
content.
December 2018 to remove and permanently ban all sexual content that was being posted on the website. And without
Ooh, and that's when Shy left.
a doubt, banning explicit material on the platform was the final nail in Tumblr's coffin. You see,
R.I.P.,
art was the
man.
main reason people used the site. Whether the company liked to admit it or not, adult content was also a very significant portion of why people used Tumblr, both in terms of the artists as well as the viewers.
That's Shy,
And so
yeah,
by
right
banning
there.
explicit material, Tumblr blacklisted a substantial chunk of their audience who used the platform exclusively
The
for this
horny.
reason, essentially knocking down one of the only pillars left that was keeping the website alive. And so once Tumblr went through with this ban, a huge portion of the website's audience was completely lost with no idea where to go. However, it was clear that staying on Tumblr was not an option anymore. The only thing left on Tumblr was SJW rants and exclusive echo chamber communities.
Not
This
interesting.
sparked what many refer to as the Tumblr Exodus, where countless users migrated from Tumblr to different
There goes Shy. Go on to Twitter.
sites.
Take all the porn, put it on
For
Twitter.
artists during exclusive content, they really only had two
Yep.
options, Reddit or Twitter. In
Twitter.
fact, it was these sites where the majority of ex-Tumblr users gathered, not only for their better design and more open communities, but these sites were growing in user base. They were thriving environments for viewers and online creators, since both of them had some aspect of community interaction available, while still also allowing adult material on the sites. This led to a constant stream of Tumblr artists moving to these other platforms, and the people who viewed their art would then follow in turn, all while leaving their Tumblr accounts inactive, collecting dust. After this decision, Tumblr started experiencing an unprecedented drop in growth, both in their user base as well as the company's revenue. For a long time, the website had been in a vicious cycle of losing users, which then only made other users feel that the site was dying, causing them to leave as well. And banning explicit material only compounded this effect, and the decision ended up driving Tumblr even quicker into the grave, resulting in Tumblr now being worth only $3 million. And just to put into perspective, yes, a company once valued at $1 billion is now only worth a mere $3 million at best. Making it clear to everyone that Tumblr is now officially dead.
Wow, man. That is crazy. So they had everything good, but they kept it, so they didn't get rid of the crazy people. So the crazy people are still on Tumblr today, and I'm shocked, bro. Like, the issue was in your face the whole time. The crazy people calling everything racist and misogynistic. You didn't get rid of them, but instead you got rid of the porn after all the normal people left because they got scared off by the weirdos. Man, wow, that's very disappointing. Well, that's the video, man. Comment, rate, subscribe, link down below if you want to check out the real video or the full video, whatever. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.